Hello everybody, Thorgal here, and welcome back to another episode of Satisfactory. Excuse the morning voice, it is very early. I just got up and got my first cup of coffee. And I did a lot of planning and preparing last night, and I'm just super excited to get started and record today. And, oh yes, it's up there, isn't it? Where did I find this? I'm looking for a sulfur node I found, and I marked it. Sulfur, 1 normal. Is it up there? Yes, it is. It is up there. I'm pretty sure it is. The reason is how I found this is that yesterday I went around the entire grasslands and I placed a bunch of beacons. Reason being is that I wanted to mark all the limestone nodes, and that way I could write them down to figure out how much limestone we're gonna get, to know is how much concrete and so on. You know, do the whole... Oh, excuse me, hiccups. To do the whole math. The whole math, that's great English. And I, you know, sometimes went up on these rocks to look around. I also found a couple crashed ships. I think 2, only 2. And I also found a Chyterium ore I'm going to show you guys on my way back. There it is. There's the limestone. I knew it. Aha. Okay, let's get up here. And then we should be able to place another storage container over there. Maybe? Maybe not. Okay, let's do it. Let's just come over here and jump up. Let's not make this any more difficult. There we go. We're up here. And I am such an idiot. I left all my miners down there. Let me go ahead and grab those real quick. So this is where we take this left. And then it's right over here. Let's just do some slalom. And almost there. There we are. Let's just not aggro these dogs. Once you get all the way over here, there's nothing actually. Everything leaves me alone. Here we are. You guys see there's just 3 constructors. It's a really weird ratio. It's not running efficient or anything. But this container is full with it, and that's all I care, because all I need those for is for the conveyor poles, MK2, and yeah, I found the ocean. I don't know if it is an ocean. A very large body of water. Oh, this is what the new skeleton looks like, or the skeleton of the factory looks like. I had to move these over here a little bit so I could actually place this corner nicely. And this is going to be the factory floor. So this is going to be the bottom layer. And then there's altogether 4 layers. And then this up here is going to be the ceiling. It is possible that I'm going to go 1 higher, but that depends on when I actually have this floor filled in. Because the big flying mana fella, our friend, is flying, I think, from over here. And then flies over this building and then goes down underneath this archway. And I want to see is how close to the ceiling it flies. It's really hard to judge at times. Maybe if we'll go up to the top, I can just wait it out real quick. Oh, there he is. No, he just went over there. So it's going to be a while until he is back, or she. I'm not sure what it is. I spent a lot of coupons, by the way. Because we're making so many of them now, which is awesome. I did get these 2 foundations here, the glass, and there were 1 package. I got the inverted ramp package. And I got some walls. Oh, I just bought these here a minute ago. I got the wall windows. I got all the conveyor walls, every wall now, because it was just time to get these. We're still missing some foundations. The double ones, the rounded ones, and the corner ones. So that's going to be another many hours, because 1 ticket is now to over 300,000 points. And I think I need at least 14 more tickets, so that's going to be quite some time. So this is the skeleton framework here. And you guys see here in the back, I ran hypertubes up. And I also ran through the wall to each floor the power. And then at the corner, I used these inside the floor at these pre-planned ones. I want to use the MK2 power poles, right? And then around the actual machines and so on, we're probably still going to use the MK1s. But I just want to have, you know, a lot of stuff be able to tie in there. There he is. So he's going to go all the way back there, disappear, and then come back. So let's just go up so I can show you the main bus here, because I laid in some hypertubes to go over towards the coal generators. And when I was done with it, I found a problem that we're gonna have with this. Oh, by the way, do you guys see the color coding? This is kind of a blue, a mint color, and this is kind of like a beige, but I really like these two colors. I didn't want to just go a sky blue and a brown, but close enough, right? It reminds me a little bit of almost like the 70s or Fallout colors a little bit. So bluish going up towards the sky, brownish going down towards the ground. That's how I mark them, right? So I know which side goes where because it keeps alternating. Alright, so let's run over here and I can show you a main bus design that I came up with last night. I spent many hours on this. Trying to figure out and make this look cool and functional. This is it. When you guys look down here, you guys remember I said I want on the right hand side, I want conveyors going out, and then on the left hand side, conveyors coming back. So it's like we're driving the right hand side of the road. Well, when I laid these hypertubes here, now the platform is full. And the thing is that I don't want to put these hypertubes on top of the conveyors. Because if another conveyor, I need to put it on top of that, and then it's gonna get messy. And the other problem is that when you get over to these things right there, to the ups and downs, you guys can see a problem, right? If I would run a conveyor on top of this hypertube, well then I need to come up much earlier, and it's just messy. It would just become messy, right? And it goes all the way back there, and I'm gonna go there in a second to pick up a bunch of coal for making these explosives. But anyway, so this is now 3 wide. And 2 wide for conveyors going this way, 2 wide for conveyors going that way. Put the hypertube between them. See, it works out nicely. I never need to worry about. I can extend these endlessly high, the conveyors. And then I even made the 3rd one for piping. I want it to be ready. Now, of course, I did not want to plan for the train because I don't think the train would run next to them. But we'll figure it out eventually. And then you guys see here 5 off from the factory. You see a 3 wide right here. I want to have a ring 3 wide all the way around the factory. Because in every single direction we have iron, copper, limestone. And of course also like sulfur and chyterium, which is back... yeah, it's back there. Yes, right there. That's where we just came from the quick wire. So, and I want this to go around, but you guys see like right here, I'm going through the forest, and then there's a gas plant. I got this giant rock. I don't know if I can actually remove this rock. Here we are. This is where these trees are sticking through, right? Again, trees, I could just use the chainsaw, but here is a poison plant. And I want to get rid of this, and I believe you can get rid of them with explosives. I'm pretty sure you can, actually. So let's go ahead and see. Alright, number 1 is we want to pick this up. Because every time I get near here, it tells me, you should really collect this. And yeah, these we're going to blow up in a second. But let's try the gas plant over here. And then I want to see if I can also remove this rock. So if I hold down left, I think... yes, I can charge it and throw it further. Okay, it's stuck against the plant. I'm sorry, plant, but you are mean. See you later. Yes, it worked. It did not damage the rock, and that worries me now. Can I get up here? No. Maybe from here? Yes. Just wanna... no! Don't fall down. I wanna get the slug. Because I don't think you can blow these up, so it would just hover in the air. Just in case. And... making these explosives, by the way, is not hard. I just gotta go back to get more... actually, I still have a couple sulfur. A couple hundred, sorry. So let's just... oh. Yeah, that's... I'm glad it wasn't loaded. Let's go ahead and stick one on here and see if it gets rid of it. Can I see it? Alright, what if I... use a couple? Let's try it. And maybe 3? No. Alright, so I'm gonna say this rock is not removable, and the problem is that this is going to clip just through here. Let's see real quick. Oops, wrong one. Really? What this is going to look like when I get up there, if it is just too bad. Oh, I have a ramp right here. Perfect. Just gonna run around this way, and I get rid of the other trees here in a minute, and I'm gonna make a bunch more of these explosives, because I love this. Not having anything clutter up my inventory. Okay, I'm just gonna have to live with this. This little bit of clipping here. I don't wanna, I want to have my... Oh, this is the very outside, yes. So this should be 5 away from this, right? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. That is the gap I want to have here. This is just an exception right there because this is where a miner is, but there's nothing I can do. And I might, instead of unloading it this way, might come in over directly to the main bus here, right? No reason to have it over there. So yeah, so I got a lot of clearing to do, and I'm gonna lay out this ring and start working on our main bus. This is a massive project. Oh my god, I've been at this for hours. I'm loving it. It's fun because I can just, you know, imagine on what it's gonna look like when it's done. It's, I think, gonna be really cool. Everything else is removed, all the conveyors, tubes, everything, and we got a couple of hovering electricity poles because I need to make sure the power still stays over there. But now the next part of this project is, before we can actually build the factory, of course, I need to get all the limestone to come to the actual factory part. Ooh. It's not really made for that right here. I mean, it works, but it's not the smoothest driving here up these ramps, but later on we won't use this anymore because we're gonna have hyper tubes. But yeah, you guys can see the 3 wide goes all the way around, only or above our starter base. I was not able to completely build it because the hub has a little bit of a collision because it's much taller, but you know, it doesn't matter right now. We don't need to run anything in that corner. So my plan right now is, you guys see a lot of temporary catwalks and stuff here and there, so I can always get up and down in every corner or get across here so I don't need to run around. And so now there is 2 limestone nodes out all the way here. I already put the miners, and I just ran back another dogo, and then I decided to show you guys first what the plan is. So it's kind of like pulling to the right, this cart. You guys see this? Interesting. Alright, let me park it over here and get out. So now what I'm gonna do next is I'm going to run the conveyors up to these sky bridges, the 1 wides, right? There's no reason to make these 3 wide because we're only gonna pull ore from here. By the way, here is that 8 iron nodes. There's 4 right there, there's 2 up here, and there's 2 right there. Unfortunately, they're all impure, but it doesn't matter. I don't care. We're going to use it all eventually, especially because the iron smelter is right there. This is where that's going to be, right? So I'm going to run the concrete up here, and then depending on what they are, I'm going to merge them together, of course. And I can show you right here. So I needed to kind of figure out, you know, it's a Y intersection, all right? It's coming in from here, and it's coming in from here. Now, later on, of course, the concrete, the actual concrete, not the limestone, will come from here along these conveyor belts and then go into the main factory to be stored or used to make the encased steel beams or something like that, right? So I wanted those to run straight through. And the same with the water pipes. Like, the water pipes will never go both directions, right? I will never have a water splitting to go there and also to go over here. Oh, I gotta remove these here. I forgot. They cannot be here. This is all hovering, but it's nicely 90 degrees and everything. So, this pipe might go here. The middle pipe might go here. this pipe might go over there. I don't know, right? But it's all there just so I don't forget it. And I think the hypertubes, I'm just going to pop out here. This is a good spot. If I want to go that way, I jump in here. If I want to go that way, I jump in here. If I want to go that way, I jump in there. Right? Something along those ways. So this is how I'm planning this intersection. After every episode, I make a special save. So in case something goes wrong, I can always restart from the last episode, right? But look at this. 24 hours, 14 minutes. And I just saved 38 hours, 51 minutes. So I spent 14 and a half hours running conveyors and preparing the sky bridge and the factory and so on. And it's getting quite epic, let me tell you. It's big, and all that only for concrete. We're gonna have so much concrete, I love it. But I don't ever want to run this way again. This is by far the longest stretch, and we're gonna travel it once together so you guys can see the extent of this one stretch that I'm doing here, and that is going towards the sulfur that we went to earlier today. And yeah, after running this, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna run the hypertube back here because, like I said, I just don't want to run it again. Yeah, and I'm having a lot of fun figuring this out and trying to make it as neat as possible. Right, and I hope that it will set the tone for the whole season. So right up here is that one limestone, and then up here is the sulfur. And the sulfur right now I'm just storing in a box. Up here, can we see it? Back there is a storage container, that's why I'm storing it for now. And then here is the last one that I ran. And that is a limestone node. But the thing is, guys, that, you know, running all these sky bridges and so on, it's worth it. Because I'm not just running them for concrete. Because you guys are gonna see down here, huge drop. Scares me every time, but I did put this here. It scares me every time. Funny thing, by the way, is if I don't have this, I get shot out of this one and sucked right into this one. But I want to be able to come down here if I want to or something, right? That's why I had this little break here. And let's look down without getting sucked in. There's 3 copper nodes, 3 normal copper nodes here as well. So once we set up the copper smelting in a couple episodes, you know, I can just run these over there. And there's that last limestone node. I don't need to take the hypertube, but actually let's take it. Because this drop here, the speed you're getting, yoom yoom. Look at this speed. It is bananas. It's so scary. I hope none of you get easily motion sick. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and make my way back now. And then I'll show you the rest of the conveyor wall that is going back to the concrete. Right there is where I just came out. Just want to show you guys all the different sections so you can get a better idea of everything. Whenever there's a permanent power pole like this, I put it on one of these, whatever they're called, pillar feet. Pillar foot? What are these things called? Pillar bottom? Pillar base. Because the thing is that I don't want to come from this power pole to this limestone miner right here, right? Because... What? What? Where did you come from? How did you get up there? Wait. Their pathfinding is insane. They walk up these little ramps and stuff, but there? Where did he come from? Wait, what? He must have run up over here. Their pathfinding is amazing. I'm glad you guys saw that on camera. Where was I? Yes, I'm just trying to run the power. Like this right here is a temporary one, right? That's why I'm just running it willy-nilly over there like that. But this one here is permanent. So it's coming off that and so on. See, there's a couple more examples like this. There's one over here. And along, whenever I need to cross over, I'm trying to run it nicely underneath it or something like that. And right there, I can show you. This is temporary right now that goes to the base. But like right here, right? I'm coming from over there, going down, over, and up, because this is that big Y intersection. I can't just run the power cable willy-nilly across like that, right? So that is how I'm running them. I'm trying to make everything nice and as many 90-degree turns as I can and so on. And then here is where just craziness starts. I love it. Oh. Alright, let's go ahead and take the trip over to the concrete factory, or where the factory is going to be. You guys see, this was a lot of conveyors to run. But it's worth it. Totally gonna be worth it. I did a little bit of math, by the way. It's going to take over 17,000 concrete to finish just the floors. Not the walls or anything. Just the floors of those 4 levels in the main factory. And that is why we need this big concrete right here. So, right here, I wanted to have a conveyor waterfall over here, right? This is 6 tall and 3 tall. So there's 9 lines coming in right there. 2 of them are 240s and the other ones are all MK2 120s. And then down on the bottom, we have 3 more 120s. And I wanted them all to come in nicely into the space. Why am I holding this? Oh yeah, because the dog just attacked me. Right there. They're all coming in like this. 12 next to each other. And again, 10 of them are 120s, the MK2s. And 2 are... The belts are 270, but they only run 240 limestone. Those are the 2 pure nodes that I have, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get down there. And we're gonna get busy. This thing is just temporary. And I did put a wall all the way around. Down here, it's always a little bit foggy. There's nothing I can do, but I put a wall all the way around so critters leave me alone. Okay, because it's quite low to the ground. And when everything is ready, I just need to hook up these 2 miners. I need to connect this power for start that miner, and then I need to connect those conveyors up there where you guys just saw it. Or all the crossovers and so on. And then all the limestone comes in. So, now here's what I came up with. We are bringing in 1,800 limestone a minute. And we're going to make 600 concrete a minute with the current setup. Later on, if we need to, we can always upgrade the miners and the belts and so on. But then we would also have to rebuild this. And this amount of limestone here, the 1,800, is going to be enough for 10 modules of 4 constructors each. Now, the 4 constructors each come from that they can process... Concrete. There it is. It takes 45 limestone per minute to make 15. So 4 of them combined means 180 per module. So 4 constructors is 1 module. So we're going to have 40 constructors, which now means that I need to turn these 12 belts into 10 180s. I knew that my math was not off, because I just split those into 8 60s, right? But I have 10 120s that I needed to merge those into to make the 180s. So that means I was short 120. It's this one right here. I never brought this one up here. And this is totally screwing me up now. Because I don't know where to put it. The only thing I can really do is possibly bring it down in front and above this one, and then when I get to the bottom, move it over to the right and come into the building through one of the conveyor walls right there. This is the best way I can show you guys what it looks like now. Now, I did go, this is the cleanest I can make this. I don't know how else I could make this cleaner, because there's just so many belts. Right? So every one of these right there, right here in the middle, these diagonal ones, these are the mergers, where the 120 and the 60 comes together. I'm gonna have to press escape so you guys can see the cursor. So one of the MK3s comes here and gets split into 2, going up into this one, and that is split into 2, one going into this one, and one going into this one. So now these 1, 2, 3, 4 are 180. Then I did the same over here, the same principle, just a little bit different. It just worked out that way with the room. Okay, so this one, the splitter's on the floor, while over here it's up in the air. But that's because I needed to move this further apart and so on. I couldn't fit them in here, the lifts, right? But it does the same thing. There's a 60, 60, 60, and 60. So these 4 are also 180. And then the last one, I hope I don't fall down, is just a 120 that I split right there, going up and over into this 9th one, and then right out of it in front into this one, into the 10th one. And then all 10 of them are going over here into conveyor wall, window wall. And from here, we're going to go up into the other floors, okay? Now, over here, there's a lot of wasted room. I don't know if the size of this will actually stay that way. I have no idea. I just used as much room as I could put here without clipping into the ground or rocks and so on that are underneath here. And I guess I could have blown them up, the rocks, but I actually built this before I had the explosives. So, but it doesn't matter. So, now I'm going to put in the first floor. This layout right here is going to be 6 modules, so 4 constructors in each one of them. And then in the floor above it, we're just going to have 4 more modules. And then I was thinking the front, where, you know, these 2 modules are missing, we could use that room in the upstairs to merge all these outputs together. However, we need to balance that. And then from there, somehow bring it up to this bridge, to this main bus, and then actually go back towards the base. Okay, so I want to set up one of them. I have a little bit of an idea. In the other base, I was talking about that we possibly... Oh, where am I going? That we're going to possibly do things from coming from underneath and above. But I want to try out these... whatever you call these here. What are these called? Foundation frames. I think that we can actually run conveyor through this here. Let's try it out real quick. Not that I really want to, but just for future reference, if it is possible or not. Yes, we can. Okay, so we can run conveyor through. I mean, maybe not like that because it's clips and so on, but there might be ways of doing that. And the other thing is also that we could remove the underneath in the future in other designs and possibly have conveyor lifts coming up through here or something like that. But let's go ahead and start in this back one. And let's put our first constructor there. Ooh, placing this is gonna be... Floor is too steep. Okay, maybe I need to come up. Oh. And one, well, right here. And what? Wow. It places it everywhere but where I want it. There we go. Okay, so now I can click from above. Okay, I just had green right there. This is very awkward. So do I maybe need to put a foundation on top of it? Like this? Okay, now I just have to figure out. I think this way it is centered. At least I hope so. Yes. Okay. So that is something. And then obviously this is the output. Let me just do a whole module here real quick. And 4, and then hopefully with control click I can. Yes, very nice. All right. So it's just sticking out these little nipples. And okay, so it works. Okay. I'm gonna say the conveyors, the input for the modules, we're gonna have 2 come around on this outside one, and then 1 feeding these right there. Now, how do we want to do this? Do we want to put it on the ground here? Not really. So I'm gonna need a... I do want to use splitters. Just because that... I don't like the overflow balancer for a big setup like this, because that means the first machine is gonna fill up, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. And if I do it with the splitters, it takes a little bit more materials and setup, but that means that it will be feeding all 4 of them equal amounts from the start all the way through. So how with 4? So that means I need 3 splitters. But where are we gonna put these? That is the question. Okay, let's just start right here. And let's start in the middle. Maybe I can use that same design that I've used in the past. So there would be one right here, and I want to have it... So there would be one right here. And then the other one there. So it's gonna be off just a little bit, but let's see what this looks like. If I come in like that and like this. Wow, I never really paid attention. I think they redesigned them on the bottom as well. It is a 90-degree turn. I can live with that. So now the thing is that I need to... Oh, yes. So this is going to be a 180. So this is going to be an MK2. So this needs to be an MK2. And we can do it like this. And then right in there. And is this 90 degrees? Yes. It aligns nicely. I like this. I totally like this. And then what we can do here in the middle, let's do the same thing over here real quick. Just so, oop, wrong one. It is 5. Splitter. And yes, it is aligned with this. 1, 2, and the third, the input is gonna be in the ports. Yep. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and run this guy down again. MK2 and MK1. Not really needed that these are elevated, but I want to make it a little bit different. I think it gives it a really cool factory look. I like it a lot. Okay, and then from here, we are just so we stay off the ground, so I can walk around. This is an MK3, and the conveyor belt is going to come in from there. So, now the last thing that I need to figure out is, how are we going to run the power? That is the question. And the mergers, I'm pretty much going to set up the same way than over here, by the way. Just reverse. But how am I going to fit power up here? Can I... I'm curious. Can I put... No, it is obstructed. Okay. So then I guess what we could do is... Let's get a wall over here. Whatever that wall is going to be. For right now, I'm just going to use this one. So add 2 height. Yes. And then right here, we could run a catwalk across. And I will never understand why I cannot snap these to a wall. Like, why can I only snap them to a foundation? I will never understand that. But I guess we have to do that. Right? Does it make any sense to you guys? I don't understand it. See, now I have it here. And now I gotta break this thing so I can bring the catwalk over here. Why not just let me snap it to the wall? Come on. But whatever. So what we can do here is... So now right here, for example, and to make this look cool, we can do... No, I need this here for 2. And then we come out with that. This. And like that. And like that. And then the thing is, just so you guys know, you do need to... Whoops, wrong one. This one. You do need to bring the foundations over here. And let me get up here real quick. Because I'm going to have to show you from above. And wait to get the jetpack for these kind of things. So you don't always need to use catwalks and the things. Because you need this for the poles. So now I can use power. And I can place them right here. Without the foundation underneath it, you can't do this, right? And then from here we go to you and you. And then from this one we go over to these two. Yeah, and then in the last row over here we only go to that side. Yeah, because yeah, that's just how it's gonna be. Okay, so now you guys see the plan. And I'm gonna go ahead and finish this whole floor. And then set up the other 4 modules on top, all the merges and everything. And then we're almost ready to kick this in. The factory is all done, and I'm gonna show you guys what it all looks like. I did a bunch of decorating last night on it. After I finished, it was too late to record, my voice was gone. So I just decided to just decorate it, and then now it's the next morning. And I just ran the conveyors back to here. We have 5 120, so 600 concrete that are gonna come this way. And I've been sitting here for a couple minutes now, trying to figure out how I want to handle this Y intersection here. Problem is that these lines right here, I want to go into the factory, right? Bottom floor, I'm gonna guess is probably gonna become our main storage, some area here. Let's say here or something. And of course, I need all the concrete, not just to build the foundations, but also for processing. For example, the encased industrial beams, right? They need concrete. And I cannot figure out a way to make this extendable without making it look like a complete mess down the line. It already is a little bit messy. And so I think what I need to do is I need to tear down from right here all this limestone going all the way around to here, and then the single belt over there, and I need to run them around the other way, so it comes on this side as well. So that way it makes it extendable. I can always come down this way and that way, and everything returning comes down and this way. So, and the same with the pipes. Everything needs to be the same way when it comes to that. I just don't see any other way. And the pipes are going to be all the way on the outside here. So those can be a Y intersection, if you think about it. But nothing else. And that's going to be quite a project. Now, the only problem I have also is that I need to disconnect the conveyors like over here first. So it stops sending limestone. And then I'm going to put up a resource sink or something here and route all this limestone into that, because I don't want to break all these belts and then fill my inventory with limestone and destroy it. It's gonna make it quicker. So yeah, that's kind of sucks. I cannot figure out another way on how to make this. I was thinking of maybe running these underneath and then coming back up, but I really don't have a lot of room. And it just makes sense. So that means over there where I said the orange walls are, where I said the break is, I'm actually gonna go and connect all of this, right? So I'm gonna have to tear all this down. But before I can do that, I need to tear down the hub here. Let's just take all this out of these boxes and put it all in here for now, because I need to be able to finish this corner here. So I can actually route all the conveyors where they need to go. It's empty now, right? Yes. Let's go ahead and destroy this. This right here can stay for now. And put it here. Maybe I can simply switch these right now. Let's see. I think that might work. So, hub. And it needs to be this way here. Go back one further. To the right. No, alright. Looks like right here. Yes, and that should not interfere now, so I can close up this corner over here. And I'm gonna put down the other ones here as well. So we're gonna need the ma'am. We're gonna need the awesome shop. And we are going to need, I think that's under production, the equipment workbench. And let's just put this here. This is all gonna move up into the factory very soon. But there we go. So now I can close this and actually route these conveyors. I love how clean everything is. I'm very happy how this turned out. So yeah, they're running all the way around the back now. And over and then boom, right here. So there's all the lines are coming in on the same side. These 5 right here are just temporary because I just need to store this concrete somewhere. And I'm gonna make, like I said, 600 concrete a minute, which means I can place 100 foundations or walls or whatever a minute. And I won't run out of concrete, which is gonna be super nice, guys. I'm very happy. It's very clean over here. These are the 5 returns. Up to here is kind of permanent. This is where it's gonna go, but of course, I have no idea yet how we're gonna do our central storage. So for now, I'm just gonna store them here, and that's gonna be enough to last me to build everything that I need to build. But now, let's go ahead and head back there, so you guys can actually see the factory. What it looks like. I wanted to talk real quick about the color. This is a color scheme that Linda sent me, and I went with it now since yesterday for like 10 hours now, and while I had the conveyors, I kind of liked it here. It's quite bright and warm even, I kind of feel like. But when it comes to the actual look of the factory... Whoa. Oh, I did set them up. Okay, I just saw this over there. I thought I forgot to connect this there. Did I forget to connect it? No. Okay. Yes, I did. I knew I saw it. Oh, man. That would have sucked. Let's do this real quick here. So, all of these are the same. Oh, wrong one. All of these are MK2s. So that's quick to do. There we go. Now they're all connected. Wow. Alright, so you guys see over here is the return, and then I merged it all together and made it 5 high so it can run nicely stacked along parallel. But I was talking about the color, right? Well, the color on the actual factory here is too much. It doesn't fit to me. Now, I want to hear from you guys if we want to keep this like as our overall default color, and I simply repaint this factory, because in this grasslands, flower petals are no issue. There is all these little yellow flowers everywhere. I'm never going to run out of those. Not like I was in the jungle. I always had problems, right? But, yeah, let me know about the colors, guys. I'm going to leave it for now, but this is definitely too much. I don't even know what this is. Turquoise, I guess? I think it's a turquoise. It's a blue. A shade of blue. And I definitely want to change this. This is too much. Maybe just leave a stripe, but make the rest maybe like a silver or a black even. Something like that. Orange, I like that very much. The orange stripes. But that is fine. So now I actually need to do something. I ran out of materials, so I had to go back and finish this last part here so I can actually get back down there. And let's go ahead and get power from here to about here and then to there. And then the other thing is also I need to put my catwalk back here so I can show you from above what I did when it comes to decorations. No, not in the middle. There we go. I don't know why it's always the second one always turns upside. I will never understand why it is like this, but it's just something you have to get used to. And there we go. Now I have my catwalk back up here. Check it out. This is how I decorated it. I tried to make... There's more to do, but for today, this is all I'm going to do. I want to have more... It already has a very industrial look, obviously, with all the conveyors, and there's going to be so many moving parts. But up here, I decorated it like this, and then painted this blue. So it's like solar panels, right? Doesn't it look like solar panels? I'm very happy how this turned out. I didn't want to just have this gray. So I did it like this, and I think I'm gonna do that everywhere, even though, of course, we don't have solar power, but we can mimic it. These are the 5 returns. 2 are from the upstairs, 2 120s, because we have 4 modules, and 2 modules are always 120. Every single module is 60. And then down here we have 3, because we have 3 modules. So we have 5 belts of 120 coming back. I didn't want to merge 2 of them together onto a MK3 on a 270, because I'm probably going to have to split it apart again. And I'm fine with this. I don't mind these conveyors. I love how this looks. This is crazy. But very organized. I'm happy. Alright, let's get down here without falling. And get down inside. And we are getting ready to hook this up. There's a little bit of a box here. This is my permanent entrance now. And then I come in here. And let me tell you guys, upstairs, when I was working with returns, I constantly get sucked into these. Sometimes I wish you needed to be really close. So the last thing we need to do now is just hook it up, right? So every one of them we just need to hook up, and I just need to make sure that I don't mess up MK2 and MK3. This is an MK2. MK2. I think the first one is the middle one here. Right? Yes. Okay. So that's an MK2, and this is an MK3. Otherwise, this would be slowed down drastically. And this is also an MK3 here. And these are all MK2s. There we go. Everything is set in motion. I did not put any catwalks in here. I don't think we really need to see everything. Look at this. Oh my god, this is amazing. Look at all the limestone. Can I jump on the edge here? Yes. Oh my god, is this awesome. I absolutely love it. Oh my god. Alright, let's go up. And let's show this right here. I'm actually thinking of, for sure, if we stick with the mint color, like all these rails here, I would like to make orange. So they have a different color than the walls. Let's check on our input right there. Yeah, and the gaps right here, by the way, are because we're running 180 on 270 belts. Okay, that's why they're not completely filled. And we see the first constructors going, alright. So we see a lot of blinking green lights now, or solid green lights. There we go. You guys see, now all of them kicked in. Well, over here it's going to be, there we go. If I made the overflow method, they would have started one at a time. First this one, then after a while this one, after a while, after a while. And the last one would have not run for a long time. Okay, so everything is working here. I'm just gonna go through here real quick and make sure that every one of these has limestone going in. Just to make sure. Because that's I'm actually very happy that we didn't crash. Okay, so we're up to 948 now. So we don't have... Now, the assemblers, the constructors, the iron miners, copper miner, and so on are not running. So I think we have enough power even if all those kick in, but we are at the max. So once we set up the iron smeltery, the big factory, we're gonna have to probably add more coal generators or something. We're gonna have to figure something out. And I think I want to move the whole power, the power setup to maybe over where that big body of water is that I showed you earlier in the episode. God, this is so awesome. Alright. Let's check the returns. Just checking if... Why is there gaps at the bell? They should be filled. You guys see sometimes there's a little bit of a gap? No, it actually looks fine back here. That's what I'm looking for, as long as these belts are completely filled. Now this last one here is kind of hard to tell. We can probably tell best from the outside. Going up is this way. I'm just gonna check if everything in here is green. Oh, the light turns off when you take the hyper tubes. These are all green, 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 and green. Everything working. Okay. Let's head back down and then back up so we can see our return happening. Meow. Too bad it's night. But the night lasts so long that if I did not record at night, it would not work well. Okay. So right here, I'm gonna just say maybe something needed to catch up. And this wibble wobbly here, by the way, is it's simply because there's two conveyors connecting here. And I am not sure why it causes that instead of just, you know, going through nicely. But it always happens at these. So they all look like they're perfectly filled. So that tells me right there that everything we're doing works properly. All the splitting, all the merging, the ratios, everything. And one other thing we can check. Yes, that's actually, let me just show you and how you can, you know, double check your systems. Is if you go and just do some spot checks here. Oh, this is the wrong floor. This is not where I want it to be. Need to be here. So the spot checks, what I mean is if you go around and you check it in here. This should never fill. Then you know you're running at 100%. It should never stop, and this is perfect. So our ratios work, and the balancing works, and yeah, like I said, you just do little spot checks here and there. Of course, you can check just every machine if you want. Perfect. So it's well balanced, and everything is working. I'm very happy. So now I want to actually go back and just check the storage containers on how quickly they are filling. I'm at 120 per minute. Where's my belt? My tube. Meow. There we go. And we can follow this and then make sure that, you know, everything comes back as well. And at the intersection is going to be a really good spot for me to always check if everything works with this. Because let's say one of the limestone belts isn't moving. Well, there's a problem somewhere down the line. Or it's stuttering. If it stutters, maybe I mixed up one of the belts. And so on. Alright, it's not even here yet. It's gonna take a minute. So I'm looking at all of these here. There's two that are much faster. Those are the two pure nodes. Alright, this one here, kind of like if you check... I rebound my key a minute ago. This one, yes. Guys, see this here? Sometimes there's a tiny little bit of a stutter there. But they could just be how it's displayed or because there's a turn. But over here I see it always moving. All of them are moving nicely. Very good. Now let's see. There's the first concrete coming back. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's happening. Hey, get out of my floor. Oh, this is so nice. I love it. It is all coming in. Like the beginning is normal that it stretch out because, you know, everything is just started to kick in. But then like back here, starting, everything should be a 100% flow rate. Ah, that is so nice. I'm gonna go head up and that way we can look around one more time. And I'm actually gonna play, once the day is, I'm gonna record a couple of different intersections in the factory and so on. Because there's so many spots where things are happening and I feel bad that, you know, I can't show you everything. I maybe if I live stream this game one day, we can really take a look at everything in more details or whatever. But for videos, I mean, imagine just building this one back here. Took me probably 5 hours. And it's impossible to show you guys everything in the videos. So I'm gonna go ahead and for like 2 minutes or something, I'm just gonna show different parts of the setup, different moving parts, in a little bit of a montage. And then I'll end the episode. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys can see the tone we're setting for this season. Big, efficient, clean, and hopefully everybody that has OCD is happy with my setup. Okay, Thanks so much for watching, guys. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.